What's going on, guys? So today we're doing our first looks of the KUIU Pro Chest Pack. So here it is here. A little disclaimer, this isn't technically my first look because I did hunt with this twice. I was a little behind on filming and I didn't have time to make a video, so I went ahead and used it. But I think that's actually a good thing because I figured out some things that I like and things I wanted to talk about this that I wouldn't have found out otherwise. So first things first, here's the, I don't want to say old, but here is the other option KUIU offers. It's the Pro Vinyl Harness. There's a lot to like about this, and there's a lot to dislike about this, in my opinion. But this is what has been tried and true for a while now. So this is what I've been using for the last couple years, and it's really nice. My only complaint about it is this closure system. And because of this closure system, I didn't really like this. Now, as far as the vinyl harness goes, it's great. But once you start looking at and using and getting your hands on other ones, this closure system is lacking. I've got my hands on and used Sitka's old one and Marsupial's, and I think they have a better closure system. But I do think that is something that is updated and improved with this new one. But other than that, this is a great harness. It's modular, so you can customize it. You can add and delete any accessory pouch you want. So you can, if you want 2 phone holders, if you want 1 phone holder and an ammo pouch or rangefinder holder, you can do that. So this one is very customizable and it is very nice. I probably will continue to use this one for my smaller optics just because it's a smaller package. But that one thing that I had issues with was this closure system. Now, what I mean by that is when I go to open this, sometimes it get caught because I wouldn't open it all the way, and I'd have trouble getting this optic out. So I'd have to make sure this was all the way down to open this, so to get this out. Not very much issue, but this is basically how I'd run it. I'd pull it all the way down, make sure it's good, and keep it like that for the majority of my hunt. So I could get to this in and out fairly easy. Not really a big deal, just something, just me nitpicking, but a great vinyl harness. Now this new one reminds me a little bit of the old Sitka harness. Now this is this one, old one, but I do think it is better. But as far as looks wise, it looks very similar. It's got the 2 pockets here and in the main vinyl harness pocket. Now a lot of people don't like this vinyl harness because of its closure system, but I loved it. I like to have my lid open for the most of the time. And then when I get to move, when I'm moving from spot to spot or anything, then I'll close it to keep any of that dust and debris out. But when I'm sitting still, especially in a tree stand, I usually have it open. Now, a lot of people didn't like how this opened from the top. I didn't mind it because it had magnets, so I just opened it and kept it like that. Now, this is how I'd run it for most of the time. I just have it open, pull these out, glass, put them back in, be done. And then when I was ready to move or go back to the house, I'd close it down. A lot of people did complain though that it opened up. That everyone likes it opening down. That's something Marsupial has mastered and done a very great job. But it had these 2 here. These are removable, but I would never remove them. I put my phone in one, put my rangefinder in the other, and a bunch of different accessories. So I did really, really like this. I know they have a new one. It looks very similar, but I'm not really certain the differences. I know the harness part is bigger. It's not just straps. That is one complaint about this old one. It was just straps. But this was also a great vinyl harness, and I love that. I don't really use this much anymore. This is more of a loner. If I'm hunting with a buddy that doesn't have one, I just toss him this, or one of my KUIU ones. But without further ado, let's get into this one here. So just a little overview of this. We've got 2 pockets here. They're identical pockets, and they're very nice. This material it's made out of is almost like if the Guide Pro material inside and out. So it's got the outer fabric of the Guide Pro, and it seems like it's got that fleece of the inside of the Guide Pro. So very quiet, very soft and quiet, and it's not going to make a lot of noise. These pockets are nice. This pocket is big enough to fit the Pro Max iPhone. So I put this in here. I didn't think it was going to fit, but it fits flawlessly. It doesn't have any issues coming in and out. The pockets have a stuff pocket in front. This is where I'll put my wind indicator, and on the inside it has a stuff pocket as well. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a stuff pocket as well in there. So very nice there. And then on the side of both sides, there's another stuff pocket for more stuff, which is nice. And then this pocket here, on the old bino harness, there's a zipper here, and this pocket was basically non-existent because it was so tight and you really couldn't get anything in it. This one, as you can see, I can get my whole hand in there. It's a lot bigger and a lot more open, not as tight, so you can get stuff in there. I'll probably put licenses, diaphragm calls, just small stuff like that in there. But this pocket is definitely a lot better than the old one. And on this side, same thing. I have my windicator here. We'll put that to the side, but I have my windicator there, and then my rangefinder on this side. Now, one thing, this is the Leopold full draw. It is smaller. It's about average size, maybe a little on the smaller side. But these pockets are very big. Now, I understand that because they're the same and they're probably that size to fit big phones. But one thing to note is this rangefinder goes deep into this pocket, about halfway. The top of the rangefinder is about there. So at first I thought this was a bad design because I had to really dig in there to get my rangefinder and I couldn't get it out, it was catching. But then I realized the zipper goes more than halfway down. So whichever side your rangefinder's on, I'd recommend keeping this all the way zipped down so that you can get it very easily. Now with this zip down, it's simple. I can pull it out, pull it in and out, drop it down. Now if you have it zipped up to the top corner, that's when you have some difficulty if it's a smaller rangefinder to get it out. And I was having some trouble, but then I realized that zipper goes all the way down. It comes with 2 tethers as well. This is an old tether, I took the new one out, but it comes with a tether here and here. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then on the bottom, it's got an ammo holder. Now this is really cool. I'm not much of a rifle hunter. I will rifle hunt a couple times a year, but I definitely will use this. I don't know if this will carry like muzzleloader quick load tubes. I think it looks too small for that, but I'm definitely gonna try that and see if I can fit those in there. If not, I'll just put them in these pockets here. But what's cool about this is it's on a track system. So there's 2 buttons. You pop those buttons and then you can slide this out and it pops out just like that. What's cool about this is I'm assuming that there's gonna be more accessories in the future. Maybe an accessory pouch, maybe a gun holster or what have you, but a bunch of different attachments because this is very easy. It's like a quick attachment. All you do is pull it out. It's very easy. You just put it back onto the rails and it just slides back on like that. And then you snap the buttons and it's secure. So I'm really excited to see what comes with this because I'm assuming that because this is so like a rail system, that there'll be more accessory pouches for this in the future. This is one improvement that makes me love this setup way more than the last Pro Bino harness is this closure system. That was my biggest complaint with the last one. This one is on magnets and it's either closed or open. There's no in between, there's no catching, which is really cool. So it has a magnet closed, and so when it's closed, it's magnets, and when you open it up, it'll magnet to the front. I run my bino harness like this most of the time, especially when I'm sitting in a tree stand, but when I go to move, then I'll close it to keep that dust and debris out. But what's nice is there's magnets on the front end, so when you open it, it stays open. There's no flopping around or moving, it'll stay open. One thing I noticed is this zipper on this side, if it's completely closed, it will still magnet on this right side, but it's a lot easier to pop open. So if you just push this zipper over maybe about an inch, half an inch, it will close and it'll be a lot more flush and it'll be a lot harder to pop that corner open. That's just one thing I've noticed with using it. In the bino harness, I've got my SIG Zulu Pros. These are the 16 power. They said this is rated up to a 15 binocular, 15 size binocular. These are 16s. Now obviously these aren't as wide as traditional binoculars, but they are tall. This is with the eye cups fully lifted, and this bino fits absolutely perfect. I have the tether system in there that I haven't removed, but it fits perfect. So that's with them, and it closes just like that. So that's really nice. Now inside here, you will get spacers. Now there's a lot more spacers in the old one, or a lot bigger ones. They usually come with 3, but these are a lot thicker. And you'll also get this spacer. Now I'm assuming this spacer is for like traditional binoculars that are shaped like a V. These aren't really shaped like that, but you put them there to get really a tight fit. And then these spacers here to get the height right. Now I will be using these with these SIGs. They don't have a traditional V like a regular bino harness would, but I put these on the side here and it makes a very, very tight setup. So when I put these on the side, these sit in there and they're very secure. There's no slop at all. They're very solid. Now that bumps my binoculars over to the side a little bit, but I really don't have an issue with that at all. And I really like that. So that's where I'm putting that spacer there. It's not necessarily intended to go there, but that's where I'm putting it, and it works perfect for me. And then moving to the back of the bino harness, it's got this foam here. Now this fits really good. It feels good, and it has a great contact across my chest, which I like. So that fits really good. I know a lot of people have been asking for a way to carry a handgun. The old one really didn't have an option, and this is kind of solving the option. There potentially may be a holster that comes to here, I don't know, but you can definitely carry a handgun in the back of this. I put my phone here, and I've also put a handgun. The handgun I put in there, this is a full-size 1911 45. This is a Kimber, and it fits pretty snug in there with no issue. And I've used this a couple of times with this handgun in there. Now you may not have one this big, but if you want to put one this big or this heavy, you can. And this makes, with this handgun in there, it makes this pack very heavy, but it still rides good. There was no pressure on my shoulders or anything like that. It all fit really well. For me personally, this bino harness is perfect because I like to have as much stuff readily available and right here as possible. So this is perfect for that. And this is kind of the perfect solution for the guys that have to have a lot of stuff. Think about your muzzleloader hunters or your backcountry hunters that have a lot of stuff. And for me, I have my binos, I'll have a phone here, a GPS system if I need it, rangefinder, portable charger, tampons, knife, chapstick, Sharpie, lighter, and then calls and tags. That's usually what's all on my chest. And it's perfect because it's all there. If I'm gonna carry it, might as well have it easy to get to and not have to dig through it in my backpack. So this kind of solves that issue. It's also good, I think this is also gonna be good for those whitetail guys that are going to sit all day and they don't want to carry a backpack and you have everything. You can put everything here and it's all going to be there. Your binoculars, you can have snacks, you can have portable charger, calls, all that, one and done. And there's no need to carry a backpack unless you're bringing like additional clothing. But this pack kind of solves all of that, which is nice. All right, guys, so we're going to go over the fit a little bit. It fits really great. It sits high on my chest. I like my bino harnesses a little bit higher on my chest. It kind of bothers me when I see guys wearing bino harnesses and they're like down way low, like at their belly or even lower. But really, if that works for them, it works for them. But I like to have them a little bit higher. I like them to ride here. This one's a little loose because I haven't tightened it up, but this is still a good height here. Everything fits, especially with a lot of weight. With that, when I put the handgun in here, I'll show you. Slide the handgun in there, and I have those SIGs, the 16 power ones in there. It still rides really well. Doesn't hurt my shoulders. It disperses the weight very good. Everything's very ergonomic, very easy to get to. Have this down, glass, put this back. Everything's very easy to get to. So another cool thing that I've used these for is this pocket in the back I've used to carry AR. So my AR sling only works well putting it on first. Sometimes I'm lazy and don't like to put it on under this and then put this on. So I'll just put my bino harness on, and then when I'm ready to put my AR, I'll just slide the magazine in this side pocket, just like that. And this is very heavy, but it handles it very well. I can go hands-free, I can go one hand and just hold it here and walk around, and it's very nice. So when I'm lazy and I don't want to put my gun sling on, I throw the magazine in that pocket and it's pretty secure. I can walk hands-free. I usually don't walk I usually have one hand here just so I'm ready to pull it out. But especially when I'm just gonna go check a feeder at night to see if there's some pigs under it, I'll just put this bino harness on, slide that magazine in that pocket, and it's good to go. It just sits pretty stable. Now, the heavier the gun, the more it's gonna wanna lean like this, and that's why you wanna hold it. But if you have a lighter gun, we have a lighter gun, a lighter AR that we use, and I can literally walk hands-free and not have to worry about it coming out. So that's another cool little pro tip there. It holds a gun like that. So let's get into the cons, the things I don't like about it. The first one is the size. Now, it is a very big bino harness, and it seems like they're only making one size of this. Now, they do offer a bunch of different spacers. to accommodate for that big size, so you can get the perfect fit even with a smaller binocular. These spacers, and then these as well. But other than that, the size is a little big. I looked at it, and for these binoculars, it's perfect. But if I were, especially for bow hunters out there, if I were to have like an 8x42 or 10x42, this would be a little big. Now, I do have the spacers to accommodate for that, but it is a little big. It's not necessarily a deal breaker. It just is what it is. So that's one thing to note, is the size. Another con that I don't really like, and I don't know why KUIU did this, was the tether system. Now, on the old one, the tether was here. Now you can see there's a tether here. I'll show you. So it's tethered to the straps. So when you're glassing, you can glass and then lay it down like that and pick it up pretty easily. When you're glassing really quick and looking and glassing and looking, you can just lay it like that. I know a lot of guys do that. And when you're done, put it back in the thing, close it up. Now with this new bino harness, they don't have that same tether system. They are running it on this tether system. Now these are great, especially for rangefinders. So you're ranging, you drop it, it's not gonna hit the ground. But over time, these do stretch out. And for a very heavy optic, like these SIGs, I don't know how well these are gonna work. I don't know why they didn't do just like a regular tether. I have the old tethers, I haven't taken them off yet, but I have the old tethers on these SIGs. I don't know why they didn't just have a clip system, because this harness is very similar to that one, basically the same. I don't know why they didn't just add a clip there to where you could clip these. So when you're glassing, you can glass and then drop it, and it just sits right here, glass, drop it. There may be a reason, there may be not, I'm not sure, but I just don't know why they resulted to just using these, because these stretch over time, and this attached to this, and if I drop it, it's gonna go way down here. And it's gonna like be past my waist. So I get having this just to put on the binoculars so they don't fall, but as far as glassing really quick and dropping, glassing and dropping, it's nice to have these straps so that you can just have it sit, rest on the outside of the binocular. I'm not sure the reasoning behind that. It's not necessarily my favorite design. I don't really like it, but it's not there. So I may rig something up with these extra tether systems I have, and I may just like sew them in or duct tape them or whatever to see if I can do it. But that's one thing that I don't really like about this vinyl harness. So let's go over some of the pros that I love about this vinyl harness. The first one is the closure system. I talked about this earlier. It's just way better than the last one, in my opinion. I like how you can open it and keep it open, and it's out of your way, you can forget about it. But also it's closed, you're not gonna have an issue. But there's really no in between, and there's no snagging on the closure system when you're trying to pull it out. The second pro is that gun holder. I like this additional pocket. A lot of guys like carry sidearms. I don't really carry a handgun all the time, but when I do, it's nice to have that option to just slide it in the back. I do like that as well. And then another pro is the pockets. I do like the additional pockets. I like how there's a lot of options for organization, especially for me when I'm carrying a lot of stuff. It is nice. For me, I have a lot of stuff in my bino harness, and this allows me to carry all of that right here without a problem, which is really nice. So that is another thing that I really do like about this setup here that the old one didn't have. So all in all, in conclusion, I like it. I'm excited to use it. I do like the upgrades and changes they've made. I'm curious to see if there's any additional accessories that they add to this. I think there will be, just because that rail system, it seems very universal to add and take off accessories, but only time will tell with that. As I use it, I'll probably see things that I like and see things I don't like that I didn't think about before, but I'm just very excited to use it. It's gonna be great. I think it's gonna work great for me. If y'all wouldn't mind, comment what you like about this bino harness, what you don't like, and then the bino harness setup that you are going to be using for this year. I definitely want to see that, and I'm excited to see what y'all are going with this year. So appreciate y'all for watching. This is the KUIU Pro Chest Pack. I think it's going to work great for me, and only time will tell. We'll see. Y'all have a good one.